lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name is Ryan. Back with me again, my boy Mahdi Khene, talking some Steel Streets. Issue 4. Another fucking dope cover. Another one I have to flip over so you can get the entire deal with this. I love this dude in the back. It's fucking dope, dude. It's fucking awesome. This is such an awesome cover. And we talked about it last time we did 3 too, that originally Hiroshi was going to go into space. So the cover that you saw coming next with issue 3, that didn't happen. Went a different route. Going different direction. This is where you said you're going to branch off. You're not going to be following along with what, you know, kind of the Turtles motif that was going, and it's going to be its own thing now.
Yeah. Not to say I won't ever go to space, because I think I'm just saving those themes, I think, for other books that I'm planning on doing.
First off, I love this fucking pose right here. Classy as hell, dude. And now we're getting more backstory. This is this. I love when comics, we're 3 issue. This is the 4th issue, so there's still a lot to learn about the history of kind of the main characters that we're following. So I love this opening scene, him performing seppuku, right?
Seppuku. Yeah, because in the last page of issue 3, you get introduced to the Sculler. Mm-hmm. And now it's only right that we know who he is and what his whole story is and everything. Because Steel Streets, a lot of it just builds and builds and builds and builds, but I like to give people a little satisfaction in regards to certain storylines, but not everything. Just kind of. So did you notice though in the splash page, it's already introduced? You see the figure in the back looming over him, so you can tell he's not alone.
He almost looks like a vampire too, the way he's.
So if I don't want to this is a little treat, but I guess now it's I'm already at issue 7. His design is similar to another character in the Superhero Comics Presents books. So maybe there's a connection there.
These are, again, very cinematic in terms of the way these few panels are. The chaos,
because I mean he's killing himself.
Yeah,
it's hardcore. Like I imagine it would just be noise in the brain, but this little poof, his sword disappears.
Well, and the inner dialogue too is so that I lost my way. Delusions of grandeur skewed my perceptions. I may never see you again, Kenji-san, but at least tonight I redeem my honor. And then just fucking stabbing, and then your journey does not end tonight.
Yeah, and then you turn and you see the reveal. He's it's just he grows and shrinks, and he's saying in Japanese Akuma, which is the devil.
Did you hand draw that, or did you get a font?
So I did. I got the script, and then I went over it.
Okay.
With my own to give it some.
Because I was gonna say it doesn't look very computer generated. It looks like it has a written touch to it.
Absolutely, yeah.
This is fucking dope too, right here.
Yeah, and this is cartoonists helping each other out, because I remember with my friends we have this kind of thread where we send each other work, and we talk comics all the time and everything. And I remember sending him this page on the left there, on the right, I mean.
This one,
and that third panel, he was like, it's a little bit there's some part of it that's kind of hard to read because of the 180 rule. And I was like, the 180 rule, I've never known about this. And it's about storytelling, that you don't want to switch your directions too often. And so he helped me out in changing the way I told the story, which was great, which ended up giving something a lot more dramatic. So
you're talking about this one. So how was this originally drawn?
I had him on the other side
over here
with his hand coming this way.
Okay.
So basically it was going this way, then his other hand comes that way.
He looks fucked up, dude.
And, oh man, he's all sorts of bad.
Now you get the peek behind the mask, dude, from issue 3, where you thought he was menacing there. Look at this crap right here.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And you don't even, and if you see in the next page, everything's starting to grow back a little bit, so you don't know what he actually looks like. But
look at these hands too, dude. I like how it's like it's coming out with that fucking energy coming out. The Sculler is born. Those are some creepy looking fucking hands.
Yeah, I love this idea of bringing everything together, and here is when you start to see. I don't know. Did you remember Shovel Man?
It's been a while since I read it, but I do remember Shovel Man. Yeah,
you should. If you remember that, you should pick it up again, especially with this issue.
Okay,
there are literal cutout panels from that issue of Superhero Comics Presents that I injected in these pages.
I guess we know the next creator commentary we're doing. We'll do that one.
Yeah, sure. Cool.
Yeah, these
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
do so much storytelling in here and so much building within the first part of this book, dude. Like right here too.
Mhm. To show that he was because we opened the book with him apologizing to someone,
Right.
and then we find out who that person is, and then we find out his connection with everybody, with everything, because you see the scholar says, he says, you forget that tide and time carry on without you, for Kenji-san had a son. The prophecy is written tonight, one of you will perish, Koshiro-san, one of you will bleed. And it's this intense thing that you realize that he didn't even know that Kenji had a son, and that their paths are forever intertwined until one of them falls, which kind of gives you his motivation in his own twisted way of why he wants to capture Hiroshi. To kind of, he's still seeking redemption this whole time.
Yeah, I love this part too. This particular line, your soul was tattooed the night he was killed in cold blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, the writing in this is fucking
You know,
there's
it's
kind of like a poeticness to it.
oh yeah. Because I mean, you'd laugh, but the way I write this, when I write it, I literally, this is me. I say, you and Kenji Tokanuga, once brothers bonded by, like, that's how I talk to myself. I get the whole, I want to do an audiobook, I think, at some point.
Yeah, you should.
because
Yeah.
because torn asunder by your greed and your that's literally me in my studio. I'm standing up saying, you don't know.
That's what you should do. You should do little
Yeah,
trailers before you drop the new issue. And you
right.
should read like a couple pages and then
Yeah, yeah,
say,
yeah,
just do a few pages or two or
yeah.
three pages with you saying that in the audio. And then at the
Right.
end, it's like the cover. And then now it's
Absolutely.
Superhero Comics. That'd be dope.
That way, yeah. I think I will. It's a great idea. And then in classic Steel Streets fashion, I have the big opening, and then it cuts right to the calm, and the story can begin. And it's right after the events of Steel Street 3, so he doesn't um so Hank doesn't know what's going on yet, but he figures it out real quick.
I love it. Damn it, Francine. What have you done? I love that.
Yeah. And little things like having the Twin Towers there to kind of put it in a time frame in case you forgot it was the 80s.
Of course, yeah.
Absolute Bagels at the top right, top left.
Is that made
Uh,
up or real?
that's a great bagel place in New York. 108th Street, best bagel you can ever get. Like, for sure, hands down.
I love bagels, dude. I gotta go there.
I'll take you up there when you come to when you come to New
All
York
right,
Comic.
hell yeah, dude. I gotta get me some fucking dope bagels.
It's delicious. Well, you turn too fast, man. Did you read the box? The names on the box? There you go. You got a little Matt Murdock there.
Murdoch, Peter Laird, Frank Frazetta. Is that Frazetta? No.
No, that's Franzoni. Yeah.
Frenzoni, okay.
You got C.
Kevin
Kent.
Eastman, Peter Parker, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. She lives in a hell of a building.
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, look, this I have to point this out right here. This dude sleeping.
Oh man.
I've seen
You
I've seen that. Like I mean, there's not a
oh,
lot of subways
100%.
here, but I mean there is a subway that goes from like North Hollywood here, and then you can go to all the way into Hollywood and stuff like that.
Right.
I've definitely seen a dude fucking passed out like
Oh
that.
yeah. And you, like, in New York, this is what you see. This is what you sit down next to every day. She's on the actual, like, I take that train, the one train,
Mm-hmm.
and there's stand clear of the closing doors. That's what they say. And there's, she's sitting next to this dude. She's scrunched up. She's kind of like, ugh, this dude's sleeping. I want you to
His
think this.
guts like going over her arm.
Yeah, exactly. I want you to kind of be able to smell it, graffiti everywhere. And I modeled that one off of the New Yorker building. Yeah, I
Love these
remember.
pages of Francine and Hank too. These are great.
Yeah, I wanted to try to get some suspense and keep them kind of sparse, because it's the beginning of the day. It's all coming together. She's nervous. She's trying to explain herself, but now she sees what they did to Hiroshi, and she wants to help, and she doesn't particularly trust Hank. So she thinks she needs to keep things to herself, but he's suspicious and he knows.
And it's also weird seeing her in a dress again now because like you've
Yeah,
seen
right.
action hero Francine, and now she's back to being like mild mannered a little
Exactly.
bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which I think, in season 2 will probably, I think they're gonna get their heroisms a little more organized.
There we go. There she is, dude.
There she is recalling the story.
Yeah,
So
and
I
then
mean,
she's seeing this angle that we didn't. So this is also, we're seeing a different angle than we saw before of the same scene, because this is when he comes to save her.
yeah, we're seeing that, and we're also, it's unreliable narrator because she's embellishing, she's changing the story a little bit.
Yeah.
Like if you see he's huge on the Empire State like King Kong. And actually, I want to bring up, I think, issue 6, just for a fun little. Yeah, in the opening of issue 6, there's a news broadcast where the title is King Kong real?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I didn't even pick up on that.
And then
Okay.
here too, he's by the moon and stuff, just to kind of, bring those little connectors, those little things, just to kind of bring it all back.
I love this too when she's describing, she's like, he destroyed them. He had bloodlust, Hank. He was stabbing and ripping and clutching. It was hard to watch, but she like
Yeah.
could barely see any of it.
Yeah, she's, I mean,
Because she was in the trash
she's
can.
making it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those 2 pages I did at a convention at Baltimore Comic Con.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Always working, dude. You never stop.
Why would I? Yeah.
I hate, dude, blowing smoke in somebody's face is like
Disrespectful.
ultra disrespect. Yeah.
Oh man, disrespectful. I'm mad just looking at it.
Yeah.
That's just pure disrespect. But that just shows her that he knows that she's bullshitting him.
Yeah.
He doesn't know exactly what, but he knows.
I know. Look, at first, I like the sequence of panels with like him hitting the cigarette out, popping one out, and the click of the lighter, and then just telling her what's up, dude. If you ever see them again,
yeah,
I don't like if you so much as sneeze, you call me. I don't care if you have a sniper pointed at their balls, you call me.
And then
because he has no faith in her either. Like he doesn't know what she's capable of. Like this is what this says, right? Like he doesn't know that she could fucking handle her shit.
Well, it's funny because I think she's overconfident in herself right now. We don't know here what she's gonna become.
Right.
So she kind of put herself in things. She ran out half cocked and just went, and like she was like, holy shit, she got the gusto. Like she's fucking, fighter Franzoni. She's go get him, but he knows that she's like, she's a young rascal. She's a punk. She's like,
she's
oh my god,
like a mix of Casey Jones and April O'Neil to me. Because like that's what Casey Jones is doing, sitting in his apartment, right, hearing some shit go down, and then he fucking grabs his hockey mask, his hockey sticks, his baseball bats, golf clubs, all that shit.
Let's go.
That's kind of what that I should have mentioned that when we talked about issue 3, but that's kind of what that reminded me of.
Absolutely. It's the idea that, and she's also trying to get ahead in her career. So she's like, if I bust these guys, I'm gonna propel myself up in this bureau, And then he calls, and then we get to see our main man, Hiroshi, doing his thing. So here months have passed between what we just saw and now.
Right. So he's been fighting so this whole time.
He's been on the hunt. He's good at what he does. He's taking it down. He's getting closer. He's basically trying to find the leader of the head clan. He's figured it out, and he's just slice and dice.
Yeah, I love this too. I love how you're showing the motion with the blood still in the air.
Yeah,
that's fucking dope. Dude's head's decapitated. This one's got no head in the back.
Oh yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
And Snow is a very I wanted to do a Snow issue, and it's dicey because I think you get the desire to put like so much Snow because it's so nice.
Yeah.
But then you get too much, and then you can't read the story, and it becomes unreadable. That's why it's good to have another person kind of look at your work and be like, okay, I see what you're trying to do, but I can't understand shit because it's too much Snow,
Yeah, because you're self-editing this book. It's not like you have an editor that you work with that's like keeping things kind of like trying to help keep things cohesive. I love this effect too. Like I love when like the splatter from a paintbrush. Like I love the way that looks on a drawing and stuff like that. It's fucking dope.
I take my toothbrush with me at every convention to kind of do some splatter on some commissions and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's very like it. Like Mafu does it a lot. Sienkiewicz does it too. Yeah. Like I love.
And then we get introduced to a throwback, and so he's kind of figuring it all out because right now his brain is getting stronger. Like his memory is sort of it's working. It's healing.
Yeah.
But then he witnesses something. And do you recognize that guy?
I can't pick him.
Maybe in the next page you'll see him. because I figured, 4 issues in, it's been a while. So I literally take the scenes from issue 1.
Nice.
Do you have issue 1 handy with you?
I gotta hold on. Let me grab it. Yeah, yeah, I didn't pick this up, dude. I didn't realize that you put that same panel.
Yeah. Digital splicing and collage, and it's the panel also on the left,
Right,
on the
this
right
one.
hand page. Yeah, that one's there. And then the clump. So he that memory, this guy triggered this memory of everything. So he's like, oh my God, this has happened to me. There's been
I remember what you did.
and the other guy's just so me. He's like, you dumb fuck, say something.
Yeah.
Can't believe you survived that shit. Yeah.
Get that right there, dude. Just it's like he's like sliding and just like
Yeah.
across the ground, just fucking ripping him apart.
Snow.
Yeah.
And I love that he's just, he's like, now you will what, surrender? You like making fun of him? Fat chance.
I also love like you're showing the speed by doing this, by saying like, oh yeah, well, it looks like you brought a knife to a gun, and like immediately while that's happening, he's fucking running across, which shows how fast Hiroshi is too.
Yeah, because we forget that he's mutated. He's like, he's a super, and then in the next, man, so good.
Yeah.
Just fucking his hand is falling.
The blood dripping down too.
The blood.
Yeah.
And he doesn't give a fuck.
Honor restored.
Yeah, exactly.
Memories triggered.
It's like, how do you synthesize what he feels? Because he remembers
what the hell are those? And it's like they're like look like mousers, but also looking like him a little bit too.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you get to see a little glimpse of the Sculler's abilities. And I just love the idea that there's a dojo looking like crazy, majestic looking place in the Bronx, just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, to me, this because they didn't do it in the original Mirage, but I don't know if you ever saw the 2003 Turtles cartoon.
Maybe.
So like Shredder had something like this, and it was on a rooftop in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Which I thought was, I mean, I didn't think you took it from there, but to me, this is what it reminded me of, because like that was to me one of the most faithful adaptations of like the original Turtles comics, because they did like so much, they brought so many of those storylines into it. But Shredder had this like fucking dojo thing on a rooftop, and like nobody even bats an eye,
Yeah.
This is another great panel.
So I did the shadow of the devil guy behind him.
Yeah, I thought it's interesting
to show basically that they have, because we'll find out later who they really are or who he really is, because he's not the devil. He is, well, I don't want to spoil anything, but basically there's an influence that they have on things, and it's possible that the Sculler's powers aren't necessarily his own. And then a chase sequence.
Yeah, I love the action. I love the, you have not that this is a quiet moment, because it's not, but you have like these moments where there's not a ton of action, then you flip and then it's just complete action. And this one too is like showing him jumping up the side of a building, and you got these fucking robots chasing him. That
particular panel, I think I had just, Sin City was the artist edition of Frank Miller.
Okay.
And in that book, there's a scene where they show, these long vertical panels of him scaling a building, and I was so inspired by that. I was like, oh, I want to put that in the book, just with the shadows and everything.
Yeah, I'm a fan of like these like long panels, even when they go from the top to the bottom of the page too. Like those are some of my favorite like design techniques.
Oh yeah, that scene, because he always has that grit, Hiroshi.
Ninja surrender to no one.
Yeah, he just throws his scales the building. Yeah. And then he's like, what the fuck, they can fly?
I love how he's like, dog, blood loss accumulating.
Yeah. And he's just being followed.
And he's like still talking, Master Plank, where are you when I need you? He's a fucking piece of wood sitting in your fucking dojo, dude. That's where he is.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he's just being hunted. He can't understand why, dude. I love this, like just surrounded. Yeah,
in the Central Park, and they're all saying at the same time, "Surrender, suffer the consequences." And he's just like,
"Shit." Dude, yeah, you do the bet. Like the final pages in the issues always get you amped for the
Oh
next
yeah.
one.
Oh cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
always, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But again, man, it's because I look at it as episodics, as like TV shows, you know. Like one of my favorite shows growing up was Smallville. And
Really?
oh yeah,
That's awesome. I never, you know what? I
what?
never hear anybody ever say that. And I'm
Really?
glad that I found somebody else on this fucking planet that likes that show, dude. Because I love that show. To
Oh,
me,
you love
it's
it?
so,
Okay, good.
dude, I have the fucking complete series in DVD when they came out.
I watched the whole series maybe every year.
Dude, that's
So I love it to death.
yeah, I love that show. Hey,
Even when the
some of it's
episodes,
corny, dude. Like there is a
some of
corniness
it,
to it, but there is
oh,
like to me, Tom Welling is one of the best.
absolutely, absolutely. He, you know, it's they a lot of the episodes like they aren't terrible, but I love them anyway. You
I
know,
would say mostly season one has that feeling because it's just like
season
monster of the
one,
week type thing. But
season
like
seven,
season seven, which one is season seven?
a little wet with Supergirl and stuff.
Oh yeah. But I
Then
like when
Lex
Lois
leaves,
came
you know?
in. I like when Lois came into the show.
Absolutely,
And then
absolutely.
season two when he's at the Red Kryptonite. All right, now we're going off on a
Yeah,
tangent.
exactly. This is a Smallville
Yeah,
appreciation podcast.
yeah.
But yes, anyway, so growing up with that show, I'm just like I loved how they would give you a story, leave you with something, but also have an overarching thing. You know?
Again, you know, another great issue. You got your fucking dope editorials in the back.
And some of them, you know, how some of them is real, some of them is not. Like those shirts do exist. If you go on the
Yes.
website, you can get the shirt. You know, but I like to play as if it was a big phenomenon, you know, in the 80s and it was a huge thing. Like I edited this, you know, I made this poster because this was my ideal casting for the Steel Streets motion picture. It was, of course, Marissa Tomei as Francine Franzoni. Like, have you seen My Cousin Vinny?
Years ago. It's been a long time, but I know.
Oh, okay. My Cousin Vinny, Francine Franzoni, Marissa Tomei, perfect. Danny DeVito as Hank, perfect. Toshiro Mifune as Master Plank, done. Like that's the thing. And if you see on the bottom, that's my brother and I at the Steel Streets premiere, looking like big execs, you know.
That's awesome. Yeah. Again, Country Gentleman
Country gentlemen.
promoted.
Yeah,
Still not out, dude. But it's coming. It's coming eventually.
Someday.
We're waiting for it.
Someday. My good friend John Kaiser Knight.
Like this, dude. Yeah, and you guys do the Lightwood book. Yeah, that's something too that'd be fun to kind of get everybody. Yeah, go through, get everybody on, dude. Do a quick little video. That'd be fun. If we could coordinate it. I know it's harder to coordinate with that many people, but yeah, that was like what a great book.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. We want to do more. We want to have another. There'll probably be another Lightwood coming at some point. You know.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, another good issue of Steel Streets. Love going through these with you. I say it every time. Everybody watching, make sure that you go pick up these books from Mahdi. They're all on his website. Links are down below. And go check out the other videos. There's a ton of content with Mahdi and myself going through his books, having interviews. I love this, dude. We're definitely going to be doing more. So thank you again.
Absolutely. My pleasure. My pleasure, man. Thank you.
We'll talk soon, dude.
Perfect. Peace.